So my daughter, I always say that she's like, whether you want to call it a spirit, integrity guide, whatever, but she is the one that like orders my steps, right? It's like God, quite literally. It's like God in her. And, you know, at the time there were a lot of things going on, and, you know, she was 9. And one day she's like, you need to quit. Right. And I was like, wow, who gonna pay for this private school that you go to?
The Lord.
Okay. The Lord. Does God provide like that?
Yes, he will.
Raining dollars.
Hey, them dollars just growing the trees in the front yard.
But, you know, when she first said it, her reasoning at that moment is because she felt that I didn't have time for her. And I'm missing one part. She came to me, and what she said is, when is my one-on-one? That's how the conversation started. Wow. She said, Mommy, when is my one-on-one? I stopped. So what do you mean? When is your one-on-one? She's like, you know, you got a one-on-one with your boss. You got a one-on-one with your team. She's like, well, when is my one-on-one? When do I get uninterrupted time from you?
Has she been here before?
Out.
That's a real mental capacity for her to eat. Just wow.
At 9. So, and she was a fresh 9. She was in the 3rd grade. And I took a seat back, and I had to reorganize, right? Had to reprioritize, because I was one that didn't, like she said, you don't turn off. You just go. You just go. And so I was like, okay, you have a day, you know, this day is your day. We do this, we do all these fun stuff for you. And we went along that path, and it seemingly was working. And other challenges start to come in, things happen, you know, stuff reorganizes. And I happened to be in a car accident. And this is when you're not prioritizing yourself, that you really don't even know what's going on. So I had this car accident. I was worried about her, and I was still working, right? And I was going. But something wasn't right.
Right.
I didn't know what it was. I just knew that something wasn't right. And like, I started to become a little afraid to drive. And I was like, you know, I feel like I shouldn't drive. And I voiced that, and I don't know, but you know, you show up as your full self every day. So people don't realize that you're not okay. Right. And so I kept on going. And then at that point, I remember my phone rang, and I like lost it. And I was like, oh my God, the client's going to do this. And I'm trying to open up my laptop while I'm driving, type an email, drive down the road in Atlanta. Like, I'm doing the most.
Especially in Atlanta traffic,
And, you know, my child was like, Mommy, stop. She said, Mommy, stop. She was like, you're scaring me. And I was like, you don't understand. And I remember I started to cry, and she was like, you need to quit. And of course, I didn't listen. And then one day, we got a call, something, I started crying. I was emotional. And she went into dance, and then she called me back from dance, which isn't normal, about 10 minutes after. And she's like, hi. And I was like, what's going on? What's wrong? She was like, nothing. I was just calling to check on you. And I'm like, I'm okay. And she said, you know, you shouldn't stay somewhere where you're not appreciated.
Time out at 9.
She was 10. She was 10 by then. But
she's a clairvoyant. She's a clairvoyant for real.
She's like, when you're not appreciated, she was like, and you shouldn't cry over any job.
Damn.
And I remember, I think I called Shantae, and I was like, Nola just said this. She was like, Nola not wrong. She's like, Nola not wrong. Things happen, but it's like, you don't need, and this brings me to this quote that I saw the other day, but it says, stop ignoring when your talent has been validated in multiple spaces. It's not a gimmick. It's not luck. It's not a once in a lifetime occurrence. You are great at this thing. You are built for it. The proof is there. Accept it. Believe it. Now start moving like you know it.
Ooh, man.
Wow.
Oh, I had to. Listen, that's a bar.
That was the thing, because the child kept seeing it, right? I kept seeing it, and I kept ignoring it. I kept on acting like it wasn't there. And it was the shrinkage for her hustle her way. It's like, God was like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, I didn't gave it to you. What else do you want? You know, and just
I think we just
conversation
to
happened.
Justify.
Yeah.
We make a lot of excuses for why we stay
That's a good one.
in spaces that we have outgrown.
Yeah.